the hearse at there.
Okay. Car stories! Okay, so, I have had 4 cars in my lifetime, my short lifetime. I actually didn't want to get my license. Okay, in Iowa, you can get your license when you're 16. Mostly because farm kids needed to have a permit or a license or something to drive the farm equipment for farming. Okay, I got my permit at 16 only because when Mom was pregnant with Jess, if there was an emergency, I needed to be able to drive if Dad wasn't home or something. My first car, I had it for 3 years. It lasted me till my senior year of high school. I only drove it to my college classes and back home. I didn't go anywhere else. I didn't go to parties. I was on my way back from donating plasma in Ames, and it was icy. It was Christmas Eve. And as I was going, the light was turning yellow, but I mean, turning yellow, you can still go through. And it was just turning yellow as I was passing the line. And there's a guy coming this way, but I mean, obviously I have the right of way. But instead of stopping, he kept going, and then he smashed into me on my driver's side and pushed me into the traffic that was waiting at the stoplight over on this side going this way. Blah. Luckily, literally across the street is the fire station right in front of this stoplight. And I was kind of out of it. The door was totally smashed in. They had to use a crowbar or something to get the door open. And the police officer got there really quickly. But he was asking me like all these questions. I was really confused. I did just donate plasma, so like that was kind of not 100% as it was. I mean, I could drive obviously because it doesn't do anything. But after a car accident, you're kind of wobbly as it is. Are you just gonna sit there holding that?
Yes.
Okay. So he's asking me all these questions like, how are you? What's your name? Are you feeling okay? And I'm like, my head really hurts because I smashed my head into the window when the guy hit me. And he kept, okay, one thing I specifically remember is he kept asking me, pointing to his car and saying, what kind of car is that? I'm like, I don't know, it's a black and white car. And I guess the answer he was looking for was police car. And I'm like, that wasn't the answer I was going to give. But I kept looking to the back seat because Jessica's car seat was in my car. And he's like, was there a baby with you? I'm like, no, like it just hurts my neck to look the other way. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to call you an ambulance. And they did. And oh my God, were those ambulance guys super hot. I'm not even joking. When they were trying to get me out of the car, they're like, hey, it's slippery, be careful. And I put my arm around one guy and I got up because I was super dizzy after I hit my head against the window. And I put my arm around the other guy. What's the first thing I do? I slip. And they catch me and they're like super strong and they get me in the ambulance. And they're like, okay, well, so we're going to the nearest hospital. Is there anything you need? And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of tired. And they're like, no sleeping. No sleeping. Because they were worried I had a concussion or something. And so I'm just sitting there not sleeping and I'm just kind of staring at the ceiling, and he's trying to talk to me, and he's like he's trying to talk to me. He's like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, it's V. And he's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I was in my 20s. No, I wasn't in my 20s in high school. I was like 18. So we just talked all the way to the hospital, and then Mom got there and she's freaking out, and because that's what moms do. And she's like, hey, are you okay? And Dad's like, so your car is totaled. I'm like, dang it, how am I gonna get to school? He's like, you can use my car. And that was my first car accident.
Ooh. What?
You're so silly. I got my permit at 16 only because when Mom was pregnant with Jess, if there's an emergency,
it wasn't me.
only because if there was an emergency,